Guys, we are officially just one day later, okay, after the UConn Huskies were actually able to take down the South Carolina Gamecocks to win the national championship title for the women's NCAA tournament, okay, that was just yesterday. And Caitlin Clark actually has a message, or somehow it's titled A Warning to Paige Bueckers. This is an article brought to you guys by athlonsports.com, and it is titled Caitlin Clark sends a warning to Paige Bueckers before entering the WNBA. Paige Bueckers and the UConn Huskies look to finish their season with a national championship against the South Carolina Gamecocks, and they did just that. It says, similar to Peyton and Eli Manning's Monday Night Football show on ESPN, women's basketball greats Diana Taurasi and Sue Bird broadcast the game as well with a show called The Bird and Taurasi Show. And the NCAA's all-time leading scorer, former Iowa Hawkeye star Caitlin Clark, made a guest appearance. Clark joined Taurasi and Bird on their show during the third quarter, where they spent some time discussing Taurasi's recent retirement and the upcoming WNBA season for the Indiana Fever. Clark also discussed Beckers in depth, who is expected to be the Dallas Wings' #1 pick in the 2025 WNBA Draft. But Clark felt the need to share a warning about the changes Beckers is about to embark on once she goes pro. I think her poise, Clark said of Beckers, that's something unique coming into the W. It all hits you so fast. You're moving to a new city, you're trying to understand the new teammates, your new coach, while you're trying to live up to all these expectations. I think that's one of the greatest things about her game is just her poise and her maturity, and nothing ever seems to faze her. And she's just always the same constant leader. Clark went on to discuss Becker's versatile play. So I think it will be that for her, but also like she can score at all three levels, Clark added. She finishes well around the rim, mid-range game is some of the best I've honestly ever seen, and obviously she can score from the three-point line. So I think all of that. She can play point guard, but she can also play off the ball. That'll be an interesting dynamic with Arike Ngubawale. Obviously, we all know she's going #1. The article finishes off, Beckers was able to accomplish what Clark never could during her college career, a national championship. However, in their latest meeting in the 2024 Final Four, Clark took a 94-87 win over Beckers. Again, I'm going to do a whole other video about that. It's a lot of debate going on social media about, again, how important is it to win a college national championship, okay, when it comes to going pro and just being able to have that accolade underneath your belt. So again, I'm not sure why the Athlon Sports titled it, Caitlin Clark sends her a warning. It wasn't a warning to Paige Bueckers about entering the WNBA. She was just telling her, like, you just be prepared to go through some dramatic changes. Again, like they always say, like, this is the big girls league, okay? When we was playing college, that was college. Even the great Sabrina Ionescu, she said it took her about 2 seasons for her to be able to actually fully adjust and get used to playing in the WNBA. That's the highest level, the most competitive league, okay, in the world for women's basketball. You can go to Turkey. Again, they play great ball. France, they have great women's basketball teams and programs. In China, they got the WNBL. But again, the WNBA, okay, the American League for Women's Basketball, that is the highest level for women to compete when it comes to the basketball world. Again, it's true. It's like you also got to take into account that she's going to be moving to an entirely different city. Guys, think about it like this. Paige Bueckers is 23 years of age, right? She did all 5 years. All 5 years, okay? She was loyal. She was loyal to that man, Gino, okay? Papa Gino, okay? I say that, respectfully, okay? People like to call him the angry grandpa, okay? Paige Bueckers was with UConn Huskies all 5 years of her collegiate level basketball career. And now, guys, once she enters the WNBA draft again, like 7 times out of 10, she will be drafted to the Dallas Wings, okay? And she was at, I believe the name of the town where UConn, University of Connecticut, is in is called Storrs, Connecticut. Very, very tiny town. Again, it's like, honestly, it's nothing to do that. I had did my research. I was like, I want to perhaps one of these days fly out there to a game, okay? I want to watch some UConn Huskies, either go up against the Trojans, South Carolina Gamecocks. I'm already thinking about my travels and trips for the next women's college basketball season. So she's going to be leaving Little Storrs. It's called Storrs. She's going to be leaving the little town of Storrs. There's probably 20,000 people there, to Dallas, Texas, okay? Now, guys, if you don't know a little bit of background about Paige Bueckers, she was born and raised in Minnesota. Her parents split. I believe her mom went on to remarry, and she has other siblings and half siblings from her mom. They relocated to Montana. Okay, her father and stepmom, everybody else, her little brother Drew, they stayed in Minnesota, but she linked up with AZ Fudd. That's her BFF. And AZ Fudd is from a town somewhere in Virginia. And they became best friends in high school. Okay, they helped Team USA win gold in the youth national stage. Again, they remained close friends, even though they were 1,300 miles apart. But I believe in the summers, Paige would literally low-key just go to Virginia to live with AZ. And then from that little small town in Virginia, okay, she went and moved on to Storrs, Connecticut. Okay, very, very smaller, tiny town, in Connecticut. Okay, so now she's going to have to readjust all over again and move to Dallas, Texas, where it's over 1.3 million people. The traffic is insane. Ask me how I know. I'm stationed about 8 hours away from there, here in New Mexico. Every time I would try to go, even if I fly into Dallas, that traffic, it doesn't make any sense. Again, I'm gonna say that right now. So, any city officials of Dallas, if you are watching this video, get your traffic under control. So again, like she's gonna be moving to a new city, like Caitlin Clark said, and she's gonna have to, understand and meet and get along and have that chemistry with her teammates. Again, she's gonna be joining the ranks of Melissa Smith, Dejanay Carrington, Arike and Ngubawale, and the likes. Again, I believe they're gonna have a good team, a good core four, along with Ty Harris. Okay, Ty Harris, she used to also play for the Connecticut Sun. Ty Harris was actually first drafted to the Dallas Wings. Then she got traded to the Connecticut Sun, and then the Connecticut Sun just traded her to the Phoenix Mercury, and the Phoenix Mercury, like 2 months ago, traded her back to Dallas Wings. That's crazy. And again, just like Caitlin Clark said, she's going to have to live up to all these expectations. Because again, more than likely, not only is she going to be getting drafted to the Dallas Wings, Paige Bueckers is going to go number one. She's going number one. She's going platinum, diamond, okay? Like she's dropping an album, okay? Come midnight, okay? She's going number one. When you are the number one overall draft pick, round one, pick number one, people are going to be like, okay, you are the Wonder Woman, okay, of this year's WNBA draft. And obviously it just makes sense. So with that being said, people are going to actually have great expectations for her, which I'm more than sure like she'll be able to, I'm more than sure that Paige will be able to meet those expectations, those great expectations. But again, it's like she will be a rookie. This is her official rookie year, okay? Something tells me she's going to have a phenomenal rookie season. But again, keep in mind with these great expectations that we want to place on Paige Bueckers, that's a lot of mental stress, a lot of mental, load on someone. So just keep in mind with these great expectations, guys. Paige is literally a baby, okay? She's just a little wee rookie. So again, just be more realistic with your expectations on Paige because, again, she is entering her rookie season. Again, Caitlin Clark, she showered her with compliments, and I agree. She said Paige Bueckers, she's known for her maturity. She has that poise, and she's also a constant leader. Again, like she said, with these attributes that she has, that she just normally possesses, Paige will go far in the WNBA. Again, guys, Caitlin Clark, that was what she had to say about, Paige Bueckers entering, the WNBA draft, giving her some good advice, some big sister advice. Caitlin Clark, guys, if you want to check out the interview, she just did an interview with the Diana Taurasi, who just retired, which is crazy, and Sue Bird on the Bird and Taurasi show, okay? Again, congratulations are in order to Paige Bueckers, okay, winning that championship ring. I know she wanted it. She wanted it real bad. Again, I was rooting for South Carolina, but you know what? Paige Bueckers, along with the rest of the UConn Husky girls, they showed discipline, accuracy, poise, and just, overall competency when they played South Carolina last night. The Gamecocks deserve to lose, and the Huskies deserve to win. Period, point, and blank. Paige Bueckers, you are a Dallas Wing.